Alfred J is the presiding member of the AMA, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Earlier on Johnny's Bite, we had broached the matter on a sanitary site at Sempe Mamprobi in Accra, within the catchment area of the AMA, that has been earmarked for redevelopment according to a notice that we cited. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good morning, Johnny. How are you?
I am greater than Accra.
Amen.
What is happening in the AMA regarding the sanitary site at Mamprobi Sempe? And I'm asking you this because you are the presiding member, but the notice we saw didn't have you in copy. So I ask, what is happening?
Can you read the notice? And whom was it copied to?
Right. So the notice that we have, and if you give me a second, I will just fetch it and then read it out to you. The notice was addressed to, it was a general notice. Well, it's in response of a said petition that had been sent out by some traders appealing that a decision that had been taken earlier by the Assembly be rescinded. And this is distributed to the Honourable Member of Parliament, Ablekuma South Constituency, the District Police Commander, Mamprobi, Public Relations Officer of the AMA, and that's Mr. Ankra, all temporary occupants or petitioners, and the Assembly Member of the Mamprobi electoral area. The notice says, with reference to your letter dated the 11th of January 2022 on above subject matter, I wish to invite you to a stakeholders meeting with the management of Accra Metropolitan Assembly on Monday, 8th April 2024 at 11 a.m. at the Nadede Hall in the AMA. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss issues pertaining to the pending eviction exercise to be carried out at the site earmarked for redevelopment at Mamprobi Sempe. Please endeavor to attend on time. Thank you. Douglas N.K. Anofo is a Metro Coordinating Director for the Metro Chief Executive. Your name is not part of the distribution list, and so I'm asking you, what's happening?
Okay, so as you rightly know, the Assembly is a general decision. Assembly is the highest decision-making body of every MMDA.
Right.
Okay. So let's go down memory lane. I was re-elected as presiding member on the 12th March. Okay. On the 12th March, I had my first ordinary meeting, or what you call the General Assembly meeting, on the 18th of April, about 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Right.
Now, since it is the first General Assembly meeting, the main agenda is going to be the sectional address by the mayor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Sectional address by the mayor, and also a report from the Public Relations and Complaint Committee. That is the PROCC. Right. So, with what you are saying, there hasn't been any official complaint to the PROCC. The PROCC is chaired by the presiding member.
Right.
Okay. There hasn't been anything of that sort. But after mayor has read the sectional address, now the Assembly will be discussing it. Okay? We'll be discussing the sectional address of the mayor. And from there, we'll take a final decision on all that mayor has enumerated in sectional address. So one, as you rightly said, I have not been copied. I don't know the reason why I have not been copied, but this issue will be brought forward to the General Assembly, of which the Assembly will take a decision on that. So that's what I can say to that effect for now.
Now, it's strange to me that the highest decision-making body has not been made aware of this. This has not come before you, and such a major decision is being taken, and anybody who hitherto did not have this explanation would assume that you, Honorable Sidwe J, and many others are part of this decision. Is there a breakdown of the structure in the AMA? Because this is not what we know. The AMA is the leader of all the assemblies in Ghana. And if this is happening in the AMA under your watch, it creates a certain bad impression, no?
Yep. So as you said, you are right in your submission. One, I don't know I beg to differ, but I'm yet to find out if any contract has been signed to that effect, or maybe the coordinating director or the management of AMA is still, for want of a better word, in the process of talking to the people on that particular piece of land, because I've also gotten a lot of calls from that particular news that you brought up this morning. So, as I rightly said, I'm yet to find out whether a decision has been taken. I don't think any decision will be taken without the knowledge of the general of the assembly, which is the highest decision-making body. But the issue, as you rightly said, with me not being copied, is where I want to find out, or maybe they are willing, waiting to finish all their process before they will be brought to the General Assembly for approval or otherwise, of which we will delve into all these intricacies. We made mention of this being a sanitary site, so we will also find out from the West Department and all relevant stakeholders as to whether they've signed an agreement with them at the blind side of the assembly. So that is, with this information, trust me, we will delve deep into it.
I see. I'm looking at your bylaws now, the one that you promulgated, you revised it and then promulgated it in 2019. I remember we've had a back and forth about how the bylaws were not current. Now, in the bylaws, it says that the operation of public toilets will be the exclusive duty of the assembly. This is a public toilet, and a senior citizen just sent me a message that I'd like to read to you. She said she grew up in Mamprobi, and she's an ardent listener of the show. She says, "Good morning, Johnny. Trust you are well and your family. It's not as if those toilets are not in use. I grew up in Mamprobi, and the number of people who use these sites is massive. It's a shame, frustrating, and distressing that with this government, anything goes. Even sanitary sites is good enough for them to grab. Have a blessed day." Now, the sentiments we pick from on the ground about the sanitary site is what triggered my conversation this morning. Do you get the same sense of the sentiments of the people?
Yes, I do. Because, looking at Mamprobi, you can akin that to where I'm coming from or where I grew up from. That is okay. In such communities, definitely you need to have public toilets.
Right.
Okay. So I really understand the sentiment, and I share that same sentiment with whoever sent that message. So now, as I rightly said, should there be anything like AMA go into contractual agreements with anybody to redevelop any sanitary site? When this comes to the General Assembly, this is one of the things that we are going to echo. We need to ensure that whatever be the case, sanitary sites should be included in whatever the agreement may be. I don't want to delve into it because it has not been brought to the General Assembly. But if should it be brought to the General Assembly, and even if that place will be leased out, one of the factors we will consider is a modern toilet facility, a modern washroom that is going to be beneficial to the entire community. So I think we will delve into all this. When it comes to
the people are agitated because they have made a claim that another sanitary site within the Mamprobi Sempe area had already been given out to a private developer, and a shopping mall has been constructed on that space. So the people who live within that area have been deprived the benefit of having a public toilet for use by either those who come through the community or those who, for one reason or the other, do not have a place of convenience at home. And that's where their worry is, that gradually all the sanitary sites will be gone and then they will be replaced with these edifices. Is that a concern to you as well?
It's a major concern to me. So, as you rightly said, Johnny, today, I'll get my committee, that is the PRCC committee members, the Public Relations and Complaint Committee members, to rightly right now it is around 8:15. But by 10 o'clock, we are going to pay a visit to this particular site and get an informed decision on how to go about it. So I will take this matter.
The lands that are acquired by the state for specific purposes are to remain as such. In the event that the lands are not going to be used for the original purpose for which they were acquired, the lands are supposed to be reverted to the allodial owners. Are you aware, or are you able to confirm if the other sanitary site, which has now been converted into a shopping mall, was initially reverted to the allodial owners and then they gave it back for redevelopment? What do you know about it?
Thank you very much. I can't confirm or otherwise on that. Before AMA will lease any landed property out, first has to do with the ownership. Okay, ownership. For that, I'm fully aware of that. So if the land is registered in the name of AMA, we also have the right as an assembly to lease some of our landed property out with conditions attached. Now, on the issue of the land returning back to the allodial owners, as I said, we have the special planning committee or the physical planning committee of the assembly, which right after here I'm going to call on the director to delve more into that particular issue, but I'm not aware of what you said initially.
Was it brought before you as an assembly? You're the presiding member then and now. Was it brought before you? I mean, because that building is complete, it's operational. Was it brought before you as this one has come to your attention?
I'm not that the general. I don't. But I'm here to, if you say, I'm here to find out from our previous minutes. But if I can recollect, I don't think I'm fully aware of that particular situation. But that's notwithstanding, I'll still go through the archives of our previous minutes to ascertain or otherwise.
How is it that such a major decision is taken without the inclusion of the presiding member? I'm just worried.
Which major decision? Because you made mention of the one that you mentioning now. That is the
right. But there are two sanitary sites. One that is already gone, and one that is on the verge of being given off. And I'm saying that in both instances, the indication I get from you is that you are not aware, or you were not made aware, which means that the other unit committee members, the other assembly members, all of who come together to be the highest decision-making body of the assembly, were not made aware.
Yeah, so Johnny, this is a matter of documentation, and you put me on the spot. So I think I'll still go through the archives of our previous minutes, okay, to ascertain otherwise. So we can still continue this discussion if I'm able to get all the facts ready. Because this is something in the public domain, and I don't want to commit myself or otherwise without proper information. Okay? So we have assembly meetings, but what is just fresh to me, and I can remember now, is that with the Mamprobi Sempe, this thing as you spoke about, I would say that we are still discussing the mayor sectional address, taking them one after the other. So when we get to that particular river, we'll cross, and with this information. Should AMA even give that sanitary site out, we are going to ensure that the proper thing is done. In terms of, if every community needs to be redeveloped. Okay, so if you have public toilet there, and maybe that particular public toilet is not the modern one. In redevelopment, you need to also factor the social needs of the people to develop a modern toilet facility, a modern bath house, which will be the social benefit of all. So with this information, trust me, we are going to delve deep into that and report back to you. That is if you call it.
Mr. J, I'll call you. But then I'm concerned because I know of two sanitary sites at Kanishi, which is also within your jurisdiction. All right? There's Kanishi number 3, and then the Kanishi number 2.
Yeah.
Right? Condition number 2 is supposed to have your office complex, which has become a white elephant that's sitting there.
You are perfectly right.
There was a public toilet there. What is there now is a private public toilet. But there was a state public toilet there, which was, demolished to make way for the construction of your office edifice, which has now become a white elephant. And then you come to number 3. That place has been converted into another shopping mall, and there is no public toilets there. So if you go to Kaneshie now, you find that open defecation is crippling in, is coming back again. And that's the concern I have about what's happening at Mamprobi Sempe. Because one is already gone, another is coming up and is on the verge of going. In Kaneshie, there are 2 that are already gone. It could be the same for Mamprobi and many other places, Choko, Koligono, and many other places. And that's where the worry is. Okay.
So, Johnny, with Kaneshie, the issue is talking about a modernized toilet has been constructed there, which I'm fully aware. A modernized toilet.
Nobody is using that. It's been more than 3 years. Nobody uses that. I go to Kaneshie very often.
That particular toilet is not in use.
It's not in use. I can tell you what the structure looks like. It's on the side of the it shares a wall.
Johnny, I don't know last time you paid a visit to that.
I said it shared that toilet that has been constructed. It shares a boundary with a confectionery shop. All right, and then that is supposed to be the argument I heard the people make the other time is that those are toilets meant for the shops and not necessarily for the people who live in the community.
Okay, I know it's okay. So, Johnny, let me add that to part of my call list today.
Great.
Let me add that one to give you a proper overview after we pay the visit. But Kaneshie,
okay.
I'm fully in use. So I'm going to find out from both the Kaneshie and also the Mamprobi and report back.
Great. So when can we call you back? I will call you.
Definitely, it's going to be tomorrow because I have to use this day to...
Yes, so tomorrow morning we will call you. I thank you very much for your patience and your time. Alfred Siedueje is the presiding member of the AMA, popularly known as PAJO, and he joined us this morning on the Sunrise Morning Show on 3FM 92.7.
Think about the future children. What kind of legacy you leaving for them?
And we're talking about land grabbing.
Generation.
In a bit, we'll talk about the going issues on the political landscape. I have 2 smart women in my studio. We'll talk to them in a bit. But first, we'll take some messages. We'll return.